Hey everyone, it's Keli Laverty with Be Rooted Wellness, and I'm coming to you for another Movement Monday. And continuing a little bit on our theme last week, we were exploring trusting your body a little bit more and learning that motivation comes from the movement. It comes after moving, and you start to feel different after you move. And so one shift can lead you to feeling something different, having an energy move, creating momentum, and that creating motivation for the thing that you have to do, that you want to do, and realizing we don't wait for ourselves to feel different. It comes after we move. So this week, I want to play with that and just notice what happens when we move and realize our mind thinks it knows things first, but our body really knows it first. And how often do we check in and listen to the body before we ask our mind? We wait and want our mind to just know something, but our mind gets responses and feedback from the body. So I want to play a little with learning to tune in and listen to the body, starting to trust the impulse. And how do you trust it if you don't try it? If you've always reacted and responded to your body as something bad, or it not giving you good signals, or just being an enemy, it's been tense and uncomfortable, and the space that's not feeling safe. Honestly, it is probably that way because it's been trying to protect you, and your mind comes up with all these negative thoughts and the body responds in order to protect, and yet we see the body as our enemy, as the thing that we're trying to change, and we don't realize that our mind plays so much into that. So today's movement is to really just explore following those small impulses, those small curiosities, those points of, I wonder what would happen if I try this, if I move. And let yourself really feel what happens in the body. Let the body tell you what it wants, what it should do next, where it should go, right? So I'm gonna talk you through a little bit of my experience so that you can, as you're testing your experience and testing out your movement, you can see the interplay a little bit between mind and body, between the communication of observation, judgment, questioning, right? And really see about just staying in the body and trying to take your judgment, your questions, the why out of it. Let's try to stay in the what of what does this feel like when I move? What does my body want to do next? Where am I feeling something? Where is there an energy? How might my body move? Okay? Those are the questions I want you to explore rather than why. And so I invite you to just close your eyes. You don't have to see what I'm doing. You don't have to know what I'm doing, because this is about your body and sensing inside you. Just pause and allow yourself to notice where you are already moving. What does your body already feel? I am already kind of moving in my shoulders. I have my breath I'm noticing. I'm noticing expansion in my belly as I breathe. I'm noticing a little bit of a sway forward and back as I'm not completely still. I'm not completely actually weight down into the ground right now. I feel a little energy up. So as I notice that without judgment, just my observation kind of allows me to shift and let my shoulders come down, my arms hang a little, feeling some awareness in holding in my stomach, in my hips, and I'm just gonna follow an impulse to just let my weight go down a little bit more. Rather than hold and tighten, I just want to let go. And as I did that, now I'm noticing my feet a little bit more. And I'm going to start to follow an impulse of just shifting with my feet. moving directions, because as I started going side to side, my body just started wanting to explore other directions. So as you start to move, notice how your body might want to adjust or adapt. We all have patterns. I tend to be very flexible and very changing. I start something and then I tend to go into another direction, and that's something that can be really great, but it also sometimes I need to intentionally let myself stay in a rhythm, stay in a space, a move to deepen it. So I have to encourage myself to stay sometimes, because I'm always moving. You might find as you start to move, maybe you're tense, or maybe it's hard, maybe your breath is catching. Rather than asking why or judging it as good or bad, just notice. I had a session today, we were exploring her protectiveness, her body's trauma that has built this wall that she's noticing. She describes feeling a wall as she gets in and connects. There's something blocking her from the feelings. And she felt this urge of like, I want to get rid of this wall, I want to push, but that felt too scary, too vulnerable. And I want to encourage you guys we don't need to force anything. That's not the point. Our exploration in that situation was, how do we meet the wall? She was feeling it in her chest. So bringing hands, coming into her body and envisioning, letting her mind envision just meeting herself. Maybe touching the wall, holding space for the part of herself that wants to protect and keep herself safe. And how, rather than trying to push, you notice her hands kind of, when they first went there, were really tense and trying to push it away. And we so often, so many of us do that. We try to push away our observation, our impulse, our feelings. They're there for a reason, so why not allow yourself to be gentle and notice these small movements, notice these images or thoughts that are attached to the body. Imagine yourself just meeting them and exploring them a little bit more. So wherever you're at, I want you to just explore the movement and see what the body wants to do next. Now that I'm starting to focus on my chest, heart opening area, that gentleness, that flutter, kind of letting myself expand a little bit, wanting to take bigger breaths, noticing that it feels good to stretch and open, and I'm still a little tight. And not that I'm trying to force myself open, but I'm noticing it just feels good to move in that tightness, to hold the breath and open. You can start to notice your movements and decide how to move along the spectrum. If you're feeling really tight, go to the tightness and then see what happens as you start to come to the other end of the spectrum. Start to open a little and move back and forth between the opposites, between what feels like where you're at, maybe where you want to be. Gently exploring that, not forcing it, but letting yourself just notice how the body wants to guide you. And I'd love to hear in the comments, I'd love to hear in an email. You can reach out, you can go to my website, you can contact us to find out more about how maybe dance movement therapy might be something that you want to explore, so that we can continue with support to explore your patterns that you have in your life between mind and body. If this is something that's starting to connect, if it feels like an area that you've always talked about your feelings, but you don't really know how to go into your body and somatically explore your feelings, your patterns, your stressors, reach out. I'm a board certified dance movement therapist, and I work one-on-one with people virtually and in person all around the country. And I'd love to support you in your therapy and get you out of your head, but more into your life more into your body through movement. So reach out. We also have a few classes here in the studio in Westchester, Pennsylvania that you can inquire about. Intuitive movement class, allowing you to come into your body and play and practice, just a space to express. And I also do that virtually as well. So if you'd want to reach out for more info, please do, and like and subscribe so you get these free movement sessions each week. This is just movement and how it can shift you in your body and mind. Movement therapy, dance movement therapy, is more tailored specifically to you and using movement in psychotherapy, in the safety of a session between the therapist and client. So that is a little different, but we really explore these same themes and apply them to your life. So again, ask any questions you have. I'd love your feedback and keep following. See you next time.